What is up YouTube, and welcome to this American Gods Season 3 Episode 4 breakdown and review. This was a pretty fun episode after last week's mild filler, and maybe I'm biased as we got more Marilyn Manson and Laura's story suddenly got very interesting despite me not being a fan of her. Now there will be spoilers in this video, so please do drop a like down below and please do subscribe with notifications on to never miss a video. We open with a powerful scene of the Founding Fathers creating the land based on liberty and freedom, except they were deeply in debt and their lands would be rich with cotton, which they ended up exploiting and betraying their founding principles by operating slavery in the United States, and soon preyed to commerce and money and the all-out capitalism. However, the slaves' gods did not abandon them, with the Orisha comforting the slaves, and we see Oshun, who we would later see in the episode, who is a goddess of many things, including fertility, who comforts Bilquis later in the episode. We also see Chango, played by the rapper Whale, and they uplift the downtrodden people in easily one of the best openers of this season for its pure and beautiful way it is shot, despite the heavy subject nature. The gods mention that their tears will guide them and they will not abandon them. Now these were not in the book, and I have to say we are heading pretty far from the book now, which I don't really mind as long as it kind of goes towards those main story beats. As we cut to Bilquis' apartment and we pick up from last week as Shadow Moon headed to the apartment of Bilquis, and Tech Boy is in a terrible state, as I imagine that he went there to try to get her on side of the new gods, but once more it did not work. Bilquis has messed him up good, and Tech Boy does glitch as Shadow interrogates him. Her disappearance is the result of the man she consumed, Sanders, and his phone is still there, which meant his security was able to go and try and find where he was, find that he's not there, and then take the girl, Bilquis that is, and take her to be interrogated at one of the server farms. They, however, at least Tech Boy and Shadow, have the idea of intercepting Sanders' relative, who would have security detail when Tech Boy plays out the messages that have been received, and they can get that security to find out just where Bilquis is and where she would be kept, because she's so integral to our boy Shadow finding out the meaning of his dreams and also his heritage. Bilquis is being watched over by the security as Sweeney's body is found by a kid and then taken to be cremated, and sadly this is it now for him. But Laura will soon find another leprechaun who will need a coin. She's still in purgatory and she asks if Sweeney has been through purgatory, but no one can help her, and she'll be waiting there for a while because the lady she speaks to has been there since 1993. I loved the back and forth, but she's desperate to know what the song is she heard as a child in her movie, and the AV guy tells her that it should hint that she has a big destiny, as powerful people are completely attracted to her. And she does still want revenge on Mr. Wednesday, as something she will probably continue on, as we saw in the promo from next week. Laura is given a reprieve as her ashes mix with Sweeney's blood, and she's yanked out of purgatory, and, well, she's given a brand new body. She sees the coin as the cleaner is taken aback, and this does hint that she is alive without the coin being inside her. Yes, she's properly alive and can taste things, which means she can now really do what she wants. At the end of the episode, we see her hitchhike her way back to Illinois, I presume, to get some answers. Now we pick up with Wednesday, who is with his assistant, and she finds out that the lawyer who has custody of Demeter is siphoning money off to the Cayman Islands from the estates he controls. However, they need proof from his physical hard drive, and instantly Shadow is called to get this information, but he says no, as he is currently preoccupied trying to get info from Sanders' security team. And well, that is that, as our boy Wednesday goes off to find another person to do his dirty work. Shadow and Tech Boy interrogate him, and after going full scary god, the security guy they kidnapped tells him exactly where Bilquis is. However, we later learn just who Sanders is and why he was so very important, as Miss World learns that they are behind schedule on their Shard virtual church app, which will give the new gods an absolute unlimited amount of power. But Sanders is key to these plans, and she finds out he's gone missing. She finds Bilquis taken in one of the server farms and turns back into Mr. World to go out and sort out this whole mess that Tech Boy has caused. Mr. Wednesday heads to his backup plan, as he is at a biker bar, Valhalla, and wants to get them to steal the hard drive, which they oblige, as he is a local legend driving up a flathead up a mountain in really, really tough circumstances. But the biker wants a favour. He wants Johan, who is causing trouble, out of the bar, and he wants him gone for good. And Johan is still reeling from the death of his bandmates and fights, only to be subdued by Wednesday. And, well, Wednesday asks him to get another band so they can have worshippers. It's hinted that Johan possibly did kill his bandmates in a blind rage and forgot about it. But this, for me, is possibly one of the best storylines threading throughout the whole show, as the Norse pantheon is one of my favourites, and I do think we might get a twist with Johan as we learn some more about him, as he has a really deep godlike voice at times in this episode, and I'm curious to see where this goes next. And I really do like Marilyn Manson. He's one of my favourite artists throughout my whole life. Now, Mr. World then arrives at the holding cell as we learn that Bilquis has been recruited to fully give in to the new gods and convince other old gods to come round and join them to avoid a war. As part of the deal, she was allowed to have Sanders worship her as long as she didn't consume him as a part of a sacrifice, and it's implied she's kind of reached the end of her usefulness here for Mr. World, now Mr. World after being changed from Miss World. This story is far better than the book in my opinion, and it has a lot more depth, and I really do like the idea of finding more about Shadow Moon's real history via Bilquis. Mr. Wednesday finally leaves the Valhalla bar as it's blown up and he starts to turn crazy. Something I think maybe the new gods are behind, perhaps, and this could be part of an integral arc in the book as the truth starts to be laid bare. However, he's being taken to a psych hospital as Shadow is asked to help, but he won't just yet. It does look like, based on next week's promo, he is being taken to the same place as Demeter, so it could actually all be part of a huge scam by Mr. Wednesday, which I would not put behind him. Bilquis cries as her tears fall, and she is shown her life story by Oshan, one of the Yoruba pantheon of Orisha. She is given power as they dance, and the Queen of Sheba legend is also connected to the Yoruba believers of the Orisha. A town was built in Bilquis' honour in Nigeria where the Yoruba legends were honoured. She has a renewed faith, as I expect she will now be saved by Shadow Moon, and overall it was a good episode, with Bilquis being a true highlight along with Laura's renewed story. I would like a bit more time within Lakeside. I would like this to be a bit more grounded in the fact that, or maybe more of a guided story where we just go down a bit of a tunnel with some of these stories, but they seem to be all connecting in one, and I'm interested to see how they stick the landing. Now, in the promo for next week, we see Laura back at the funeral parlour as we see Shadow possibly change his mind and help his father, who is seemingly been taken to the same facility as Demeter. Shadow also looks like he is heading for an assault on the server farm with Tech Boy, although trailers can be deceiving, and maybe the assault goes south and he heads to look for his father after. But that's it for this video, so please do drop a like down below, please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.